Thanks for joining us on Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Caleb Aguayo. We're keeping our eye on the skies so you can enjoy your weekend. Blue skies outside of Piper and Leaf Tea Company. Fox 54 made a stop at the shop earlier today. We'll take you there later, but today was a beautiful day. Perfect way to end off the work week and kick off the weekend. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, it's Friday. What can we expect for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, honestly, it was a beautiful afternoon. It was much better than I truly thought it would be. I didn't think we'd get to enjoy that much sunshine, but a lot of the rain we had, or were supposed to have, across the Tennessee Valley ended up staying much further to the south. So that allowed us to get more sunshine. We stayed drier. It allowed our temperatures to climb a little bit higher than I thought we'd get. Honestly, it was a fantastic Friday for the vast majority of us. Some of us are talking about a little bit of rain, and some of us have seen rain through the course of the afternoon, but it hasn't been near as widespread as I kind of thought it would be. A little bit of rain this evening across northeast Alabama, DeKalb back into Marshall County, Guntersville and Albertville talking about some rain. We're talking about some heavier rain just to the north of Fort Payne, south of Henniger. That activity is going to begin to push its way over into northwest Georgia. Temperature's not bad, especially when you consider the fact that it is late July, and most of us are sitting in the low and mid 80s. We're going to continue to see temperatures drop through the rest of the evening. The vast majority of us are going to be dry. But what about the weekend? I do have a little more rain in the forecast. We'll talk about it in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Jordan. First responders from North Alabama are heading home after finishing a week of emergency services to help with severe flooding in South Texas. The state of Texas has demobilized the Alabama Task Force team, and now they're making the two-day journey back home. The response originally began earlier this month as flooding concerns forced officials to reposition search and rescue teams across South Texas. Members of Alabama Task Force 3 and 6 from Coleman Fire Rescue, Fort Payne Fire, Guntersville Fire and Rescue, and Florence Fire Rescue assisted with water rescues and other emergency operations. A Hazel Green nonprofit responsible for helping thousands of local children experience Christmas is now facing a heartbreaking setback after floodwaters destroyed many of its donated toys. For about 25 years, the nonprofit has helped make Christmas possible for thousands of children. Now, its first physical location is recovering after floodwaters swept through the building. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala spoke with owner Barbara Thomas about the damage and the help they need to rebuild.
For years, these toys have brought joy to thousands of families. But after floodwaters ruined many of the donations, Santa's Helpers is asking for your help. Heavy rain on Sunday sent floodwaters into the Santa's Helpers warehouse. Owner Barbara Thomas didn't learn about the damage until Thursday morning, and since then, her and her grandkids have spent hours mopping floors and sucking up water.
I was helping my brother a little bit. I grabbed the cord and I helped him set it up so he could pick the water up.
Toys were full of water. Anything that was in a cardboard box was ruined.
Thomas and her late husband Gary started Santa's Helpers to repair toys and make sure more children could experience the joy of Christmas. After his death, she vowed to carry on his dream.
It was his dream to always do this. When he was dying, he asked the family to try to keep it going.
Now, they're trying to save every toy they can, but Thomas says they need the community's help to replace what was lost.
I am desperate for help to get this place cleaned up, to get the bad toys out before they ruin the good toys, and I need to restock, or I'll have to shut the doors.
Thomas says every donation and every volunteer can make a difference as they work to rebuild before the next holiday season. In Hazel Green, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Yeah, and if you'd like to volunteer or donate to Santa's Helpers, you can find Barbara Thomas's contact information on our website, fox54.com. Two more people have been arrested in connection with a shooting in the Bermuda Lakes subdivision earlier this week, according to the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say a search of a home on Cotton Bayou Drive uncovered 4 guns, including 2 illegally modified with switches. Investigators arrested Trevante Ligon and Caleb Farrow, charging each with 2 counts of shooting into an occupied dwelling and 1 count of shooting into an unoccupied car. The investigation began after gunshots hit a home with a woman and her 6-year-old son inside, along with a nearby car. Deputies say if you have any information on the shooting and who may be involved, call the Sheriff's Office at 256-722-7181. The Director of Content for Yale, Alabama, the University of Alabama's NIL entity, is among 15 arrested in a human trafficking operation in North Shelby County. According to court documents, Robert Suttles faces a misdemeanor charge of soliciting prostitution. The Shelby County Drug Enforcement Task Force says Suttles was released on a $1,000 bond. Officials say the operation targeted the victimization of vulnerable women. The state's criminal appeals court denied former Decatur chiropractor Brian Mann's rehearing bid, shutting down his final effort to overturn his attempted murder conviction. This ruling comes about a month after the court issued a memorandum maintaining his life sentence and conviction. Mann was convicted last June of attempted murder after prosecutors say he secretly fed his then-wife pills with lead in them. She continued to take the pills, believing they were immune-boosting supplements, leading to a 2-month hospital stay. X-rays showed metal particles in her digestive tract. Investigators also testified the defendant held more than $1.3 million in life insurance policies on his wife and had sought an additional $1.5 million before his arrest. The ruling marks another failed appeal in the case. More than a decade of federal oversight at the state's Julia Tutwiler Prison for Women has ended. A federal judge dismissed the long-running lawsuit after the ADOC met all 44 requirements of a consent decree put in place in 2015. The agreement required reforms to staff training, prison policies, oversight, and the reporting and investigation of abuse allegations. State officials say a court-appointed monitor found the prison in full compliance, prompting both Alabama and the U.S. Department of Justice to ask the court to end federal oversight. The case was dismissed with prejudice. This means the case cannot be reopened. The Madison County school system is growing, and because of that, a new school was officially added to the system today, the first in over a decade. The ribbon was cut for Sparkman Intermediate School this morning, meaning when the school year starts, the school will become the new home for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders in northern Madison County. Madison City Schools Superintendent Ken Kubik tells us that this new school was needed as Madison County grows.
It's all moving north, and it's north of 53, and that's where we're at. So when we had this land here, we decided this was the best place because it alleviates overcrowding at Harvest Elementary School, Madison Crossroads Elementary School, and also Sparkman Middle School. So by taking some grades out of those, we're able to give them some more room. So basically, this new school is helping out 3 other schools that we currently have, in our district.
The first day of school for Madison County Schools and Sparkman Intermediate School will be August 5th. Cherokee police are warning you to pay attention at the pump after finding a debit and credit card skimmer attached to a gas pump in town. Officers say they removed the device and turned the data over to investigators. Police have also alerted the Colbert County Sheriff's Office and local banks after possible fraudulent charges surfaced in Murfreesboro and Clarksville, Tennessee. If you notice unauthorized charges, officials urge you to contact your bank immediately. U.S. Representative Dale Strong and members of Alabama's congressional delegation are introducing a bill that would tie the Postmaster General's performance bonuses to the Postal Service's results. The Perform Act would block bonuses if USPS fails service goals, reports net loss, receives certain audit findings, or misses required reports to Congress. Strong says the bill comes as USPS reports more than $25 billion in losses over the past 3 years. Right here in North Alabama, several post offices are dealing with issues of packages piling up, unsecured, and exposed to weather conditions. FOX54 got the chance to speak with residents about the mail problem.
Not getting our packages on time, and when they do come in, they're ruined, or I get packages from not just my neighbor next door, but from neighbors down the street.
The post office can't get my stuff, and I'm paying, my money for my stuff, or my stuff comes damaged or has water damage on it, then yeah, it's definitely affecting me a good bit.
The Perform Act is co-sponsored by Representatives Barry Moore, Shamari Figures, Mike Rogers, Robert Adderholt, Gary Palmer, and Terry Sewell.
When somebody buys our tea, they're literally buying a piece of North Alabama.
One local brewer getting national recognition for their tasty teas. Learn more about Piper & Leaf's Huntsville operation and how they're still growing. 2 local veterans setting their sights on breaking a new record, but it's all for a cause. Find out what they're doing to help save lives coming up. It's a terrific time over at Piper and Leaf after they were recently nominated for USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. The category, Best Tea Subscription, and the competition ranging from operations of all sizes across the country. It's something the staff there say was totally unexpected, and they've been working on that quality for almost 15 years. Piper and Leaf spilled the tea to FOX54 about what this nomination means for them. From processing,
curl it up like a little burrito,
to blending, to getting the final product bagged and boxed, Piper and Leaf handles every step of the tea making process besides growing it themselves. For that, they turn to local farmers growing fresh fruit from around the Tennessee Valley.
When somebody buys our tea, they're literally buying a piece of North Alabama. And every single person that comes in and out of the door is a part of that story. Every single ingredient that's grown in a local farm or grown in the forest around here is part of that story.
It's a story that reached outside Alabama and into the kitchens of thousands of customers in other states and countries. So much so that they're now being considered for a top 10 award for tea subscriptions.
Other people are watching what we're up to down here in Alabama. And so we're competing against national and international brands. It's a pretty big deal.
But co-founder Connor Knapp says it's not just a nomination for Piper and Leaf.
When we're in this competition, we're not just, oh, vote for us.
It's also a boost for North Alabama's spot on the map.
We're voting for our community. We're voting for Huntsville area. We're voting for North Alabama, our team, our community, and our local ingredients.
And it's an operation with only 12 people on the payroll. The staff there saying it takes immense teamwork to get hundreds of pounds out the door every single week.
we all genuinely enjoy working with each other. Because everybody's different. Everybody's got a different gift. Everybody's got a different talent, and we all recognize that, and we try to leave room for that.
It doesn't matter if you're mowing the lawn. It doesn't matter if you're cutting strawberries. It doesn't matter if you're serving a customer directly. Every single position, we're all contributing together, A, to win the game of business, and B, to invest in our community.
But they get the job done, and done well enough that this community keeps coming back for more.
Production process is like never ending. Everybody's always looking out for the product and looking out, make sure we're producing the best thing that we can.
If you want to see Piper and Leaf make the list, you can start voting every day until Monday, August 17th. You can find more information on FOX54.com. Waterfront concerts, a block party, and a back-to-school bash are just some of the main events happening this weekend. Jordan, how's the weather as we head into the weekend?
Yeah, honestly, it's not going to be bad. Yeah, there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, similar to what we're talking about this evening, but it's not going to be a bad weekend. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes.
Lower County 911, what's the address of your emergency room?
Okay, your wife is in a bar, you said she's unresponsive?
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything?
We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
A special trip kicking off from Ditto Landing this afternoon. Two former members of the U.S. Armed Forces are attempting to set a new speed record of America's Great Loop, which will cover much of the eastern United States waterways. But while the two men hope to set a record on the former U.S. Coast Guard vessel, they have another mission in mind, helping to prevent veteran suicide.
We're trying to help veterans understand that there's purpose after mission. We got the prime example for it. This boat had a mission not once, not twice. We repurposed it. Now it's got a purpose, and that's for our awareness campaign. So that's what we're hoping to establish here, to let veterans know that, hey, you're not by yourself. Reach out and talk to somebody. Reach out to another veteran. There is purpose after your mission, and you just got to kind of find it.
You can track their progress and see where the freedom fighter will be next on FOX54.com. We've got a live look out in Decatur, a beautiful Friday evening. A couple of clouds and definitely some heat to go along with it. Not a disrespectfully humid day, in the words of our chief meteorologist, Jordan Dressman.
You're right. I don't believe it was disrespectfully humid.
So, yeah.
You know, I judge how disrespectful the humidity is every day based on how far I run at 11 o'clock in the morning. And today I made it 4.5 miles.
Not bad. That's pretty good. I don't know if I could run 4.5 miles in one stretch.
Well, that's light normally, but in late July, that is a superior run for me. So that's how I judge the humidity.
Understood.
Do you have any weekend plans?
Probably going to be in my garden a little bit. Other than
Fantastic
that,
thing to do.
I don't think I have any other plans. Maybe hit the gym, do something like that.
Okay.
Leisurely. How about you?
No, not entirely. I'm sure there's probably some sort of outdoor work that I need to get done. Whether I actually choose to do it or not, well, that's always a different story. But I'm sure there's probably something that needs done. It was a beautiful Friday across the Tennessee Valley. It was much better than I actually thought it would be. The rain wasn't nearly as widespread as it was supposed to be. We saw a little more sunshine, and temperatures were not bad. Well below where we should be this time of year, but a little higher than I actually thought we'd get. We saw 87 today at the Huntsville International Airport. Now down in Coleman, where they did see a fair amount of rain through the course of the afternoon, they were really the only ones, it was much cooler, just 82 degrees, 86 in Florence, and a pair of 86s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville up in southern Middle Tennessee. Remember, the average high temperature for this time of year, right around 92 or 93 degrees. But below average this afternoon is kind of par for the course when it comes to the month of July. Now, we started July incredibly warm. Remember that, July 1st, we had a high temperature of 99 degrees, but ever since then, we've kind of been below average or right at average almost every single day in the month of July. So definitely not the warmest July we've ever seen across the Tennessee Valley. Rainfall totals over the last 12 hours, rather unimpressive. Until you get down to Coleman County. They've seen anywhere between a half an inch to an inch of rain over the last 12 hours, which honestly, over that long of a period of time is in of itself not that impressive. We've seen a little bit of rain across DeKalb and Marshall counties over in northeast Alabama, but most of us have stayed dry, and many of us are dry this evening. There's a little bit of rain up across southern Middle Tennessee. Some of that might weasel its way down into North Alabama, but I think if it does, it's going to be relatively light. The only place that's really talking about heavy rain is kind of this area north of Fort Payne and south of Henniger, down into DeKalb County. They're talking about some pockets of heavier rain, no thunderstorm activity associated with that, though. Why did we see less rain today than what I thought we'd see? Well, here's this boundary. It's been hanging out with us for the last couple of days, right? We've been kind of talking about it. It decided to sag to the south just a little bit. It only needed to sag a couple of miles for it to have a really big impact on our sensible weather. As it kind of sagged to the south, it took a lot of the heavier precipitation and took it also to the south. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible as we head into the front half of your weekend through Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. I don't think the activity is going to be overly widespread, but have a plan B if you have any sort of outdoor plans. Sunday is definitely going to be the better of the 2 days. We're probably going to be a little bit drier. We're going to get a little more sunshine. Temperatures are going to climb a little bit more. Temperatures are really going to begin to climb as we head into the early and middle part of next week. We're going to go from well below average to well above average very, very quickly. 87 degrees on Saturday, 90 degrees on Sunday. So again, Sunday going to be the better of the 2 days this weekend. Saturday brings a better opportunity for some rain. Some of that rain could be heavy at times. Sunday is going to be a little bit drier, a little bit warmer with more sunshine. 93 on Monday, probably going to be dry on Monday. That'll be nice. 97 on Tuesday. Now on Tuesday, heat indices not going to be a major issue. Good thing too, because the air temperatures are going to be higher. I've got a pair of 92s Wednesday, Thursday, 91 degrees by the time we get to next Friday.
Thanks, Jordan. The weekend is here, and it comes with some fun and back-to-school activities for you and the family. Fox 54 has all this weekend's happenings for you to enjoy. Music lovers, if you're looking for live music this weekend, Rock the Dock returns tomorrow to Goose Pond Colony in Scottsboro. Organizers say this year's festival will be the biggest yet, featuring performances by John Morgan, Taylor Holder, and Sawdust Jukebox. The waterfront location offers festival goers expanded parking, a VIP area, food trucks, and more space for families. You're encouraged to bring blankets and lawn chairs, but leave your coolers at home. Next, we're 155 days away from the Fa La Holidays, but that's not stopping Montesano State Park from celebrating Christmas in July with the Tree Cookie Ornament Workshop. You can wear your ugly Christmas sweaters, hum along to the Christmas tunes, and best of all, make tree cookie ornaments. The Alabama summer heat might have you down, but celebrating the most wonderful time of year will pick you up. The event starts at 10 a.m. and costs $8 to participate. Don't miss out. Finally, tomorrow from noon till 5 p.m., you can celebrate a century-old landmark downtown. The historic Huntsville Times building is celebrating its centennial with a block party. There will be live music, food trucks, local vendors, guided tours of the building, and if you know the Rocket City like the back of your hand, join the Huntsville Trivia Game. At 1 p.m., there will be a feature presentation that highlights the story of the Times building. Admission is free, and the historic celebration takes place on the corner of Green Street and Holmes Avenue. And, as usual, if none of these events are your style, head on over to fox54.com for a full list of this weekend's happenings. The Florence Police Foundation is helping students get ready for the new school year with its third annual Backpack Drive. The event is happening at HBC Broadway Fellowship on Huntsville Road in Florence tomorrow. 200 backpacks filled with school supplies will be available starting at 11 a.m. Students must be present to receive a backpack. Families can also enjoy a free hot dog meal during the event.
All right, Caleb, an Auburn Tiger has earned all SEC third-team honors, and Alex McPherson has ties to the Tennessee Valley as well. We'll have more from the kicker for the Fort Payne Knicks Sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9. Featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Hey, happy Friday, sports fans. With SEC Media Days officially in the books, we can count down the days to the start of the college football season. We are only 36 days away. Really hard to believe. Today, a few Auburn Tigers are earning preseason honors. Kicker Alex McPherson has been named to the All-SEC third team. The Fort Payne native is entering his 5th year of college ball. He finished the 2025 campaign going 20 for 23 in the field goal department, ultimately scoring 95 points for the Tigers. McPherson says he's ready for any moment.
I'm just going to do what they need me to do. You know, if they call my number, I'm going to go out there and execute to the highest level of my ability. And whether that's 25 field goals or whether that's 15, I'm just going to go out there and do what I can to help my team. I think we have the talent, but Coach AG and the rest of the staff has really pushed that relationship piece of it. I think we've built a great foundation for the brotherhood of this team, and I think going into this fall camp is going to be huge for us to continue to build that. And just the relationships with each other and with the coaches.
McPherson joins 2 of his teammates in the All-SEC preseason team honors. Linebacker Xavier Atkins sits as the lone Tiger in the first team, and defensive back will join McPherson. Defensive back champ Anthony will join Alex McPherson in the third team honors. The preseason media poll has also been released. What you see here is the top half of the list. Georgia Bulldogs at the top of that list, predicted conference champions of the 2026 season, narrowly followed by the Texas Longhorns. You will see the Alabama Crimson Tide coming in the number 6 slot. We take a look at the bottom half of this poll. Huntsville native John Sumrall, head coach of the Florida Gators, they sit in 9th. The preseason predictions say the Alex Golesh era will end in a 12th place ranking, with Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Arkansas rounding out the list. Now, coming up later tonight on Fox 54 News at 9, we'll continue to take a deep dive into the upcoming college football year as the North Alabama Lions are preparing for fall camp.
Tonight on Fox 54 News at 9, a Tennessee farmer says an IRS mistake could cost him everything. We'll take you to Coopertown. One bad decision at school could soon delay a teen from getting their driver's license. What Alabama parents and students need to know about Taylor's Law. Floodwaters wiped out toys meant for local children. Now, one North Alabama nonprofit is racing to recover. We'll tell you how you can help tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. It turns out Jonesboro, Arkansas has its very own friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and they were caught on camera jumping into action to give someone a helping hand. A traffic camera shows a person in a wheelchair slowly crossing a busy intersection. Before making it halfway, the Spider-Man jumped out of a red Jeep and ran out to help out, pushing the person safely to the other end of the crosswalk.
Right in time for the new movie next week.
Yeah,
and a week from tonight, we'll have that premiere.
Huh. Is that really?
Yeah.
This shows what I know.
I'm an all-Marvel guy. I'm pumped for this movie. Tom Holland just finished The Odyssey. He's coming back into theaters next week with San Diego Comic-Con happening in San Diego. You know, Doomsday and Doomsday and Marvel is all the talk right now, and it's all over my feed. I mean, the Spider-Man movie is going to really tell a lot, so I'm really excited about it.
Are you sure? I don't really feel like you're exuding the excitement.
No, I mean, I can exude a lot more, but I don't think we have enough time to talk about how excited I am about this movie.
Okay.
So,
it seems like a lot at once.
Gabe is very excited about Spider-Man.
I can tell.
We don't even have time to address why that gentleman was in a Spider-Man costume in his car.
Know, right, just sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
It's a random act of kindness.
It's very true.
That's all we've got for you for now. We'll see you later tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. Thank you.